Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your buddy Double D, and today we're going to be taking an updated look at my stats and character build and giving you guys some tips and tricks that'll help you better hunt down your gear and min-max your stats. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Let's take a look at my overall stats real quick. We're going to be sitting at 215, just about 215.5k DPS, 92.6k health, and 5k skill power. And the reason that my skill power is so low is going to be this piece of shit right here. Hot Garbo. Let me tell you, it dropped in the incursion, and I haven't gotten anything better since. But it actually rolled with firearms and electronics, which is why it still has pistol damage on it, because I had to re-roll the electronics to stamina, and you know it locks you into that re-rolling stat. So that's what I'm stuck with for right now, but once I get something better I will replace it. Now let's take a look at my weapons. I've got a crafted AUG and a dropped first wave M1A. So the crafted AUG is going to be at a 204 gear score, whereas the M1A is 163. I lucked out and I got a really high damage roll. I am sitting at 12.3k damage, and deadly and vicious. Competent is also not bad. It's not the worst stat, it's not the best stat, but increasing that weapon damage by 13.5% every time I pop my pulse or I pop a self-heal, it's pretty damn nice. And you guys know what Deadly and Vicious does already. So the first wave's got garbage stats. What can you do? It's got Skilled and Dominant. They're not even unlocked. Destructive is the unlocked stat here, and it's not that bad for PvE, but again, we could definitely get better stats. Hopefully that first wave blueprint will come back along at some point. As far as my gear loadout goes, this is pretty much what your character screen should look like. You should have a, I guess, yellow chest piece and yellow gloves, and the reason is because of these two talents right here, Reckless and Savage. Savage is going to increase your critical hit chance by a certain amount. Here it is 14% against targets outside of cover, and these are not the best gloves you can possibly get. The best gloves you could possibly get would end up with critical hit chance instead of health on kill, but I do have critical hit damage and SMG damage, so that's not bad. And then the chest piece, you're going to want Reckless because it is bugged. Instead of increasing your damage and increasing incoming damage, it's going to increase your damage and decrease incoming damage, and they are aware of that bug, and they haven't really said when they're going to fix it, but they got so many things to fix it's not even funny. So until they do fix it, this is what your loadout should look like. As far as attachments on your gun, we'll jump real quick into this. You want one of these optics right here. It's like the it's basically the middle tier between red dot sight and the sniper rifle scope. And you can see I have accuracy and 21% headshot damage, which is really nice. Then here you've got rate of fire. There's a video that I posted a little bit on why rate of fire is the best for your magazine, but if you don't want to watch that, just take my word for it. You want rate of fire over your critical hit chance and critical hit damage. Your grip, you know what's going on, stability and accuracy, and then I got critical hit damage and increased threat on my loud vent break. And don't forget sponge yellow, it's the best camo. I'm not lying. I'm mad I only have one. So let's take a look at some of my secondary attributes over here. You see critical hit chance, critical hit damage, headshot damage. My critical hit chance is nowhere near the cap. Bear in mind that it's really at about 50 with that Savage talent, but that's still another 10% that we're missing that I need to work on getting. Critical hit damage, 124%. Again, it could be higher. I am missing critical hit damage on some of the things like my backpack and my knee pads, but we'll go into why that is in a little bit. And then, let's see, where are we here? Survivability. Armor mitigation. We're talking 64.12%, which is damn close to the 65%. You guys need to have that. So let's talk about min-maxing our stuff here real quick. In my opinion, this is about where you want to be sitting. I do need to get my skill power up to about 10 or 15,000, which would be preferable. But let's take a look at how you can reach some of these caps. So obviously primary DPS, you need a really good roll gun like I have. I got really lucky. Also, one of the things to point out, keep in mind, my DPS is not always going to be sitting at 215,000, because as soon as I drop below 100% health, my critical hit chance drops by 13.5%, and that's huge. That's a huge amount, but it's still going to be pretty high. And we're also getting the set bonus here, so we're going to be doing that 30% extra headshot bonus damage, and then anything with 3 stacks of my Stalker talent is going to take 45% more damage. So that's huge as far as set bonuses go. Now, as far as modding goes, I chose to mod for health. Health is the biggest thing, and I really wanted to push upwards of 90 to 100,000 health while maintaining about 200,000 DPS. So you see I'm pretty close. My skill power, again, I'm going to say this a lot, it needs to go up some more. There's not really a point in me running a self-heal right now because it doesn't do anything, but once I get back up to about 10 to 15k skill power, I will definitely be running the self-heal. As far as mods go, I am running full stamina mods, and this is kind of what you want to look at to reach that armor cap. You can get mods that have secondary bonuses such as skill power, critical hit chance, or armor or health. I have mainly all of mine are armor and health. I've got an armor here. I've got health and health here. I've got an armor here. I have health here. And I have health here. Now, I could raise my DPS and my crit chance by replacing those with stamina mods that have critical hit chance, but these just happen to be the ones that I've rolled. I'm going to play around with it and see how much it drops my health down if I replace those with critical hit chance. But you needed to have picked up the stamina mod blueprint from the Dark Zone while it was available, and if you did not, don't fret. I'm sure it will come back around at some point, just like the AUG in the first wave will. At least that's what I'm telling myself, because I didn't get the first wave blueprint. Oh, life is so hard. But anyways, that's kind of where you want to be putting your mods and your priority, because everyone's doing so much damage in the Dark Zone right now that if you are not at armor cap with a good chunk of health, you're just going to get instantly melted. Now, as far as hunting down your gear, here are a couple of tips and tricks before we wrap this video up for you real quick. Number one, you got to decide what you want. Decide what you want, what gear set you're going to go, and hunt that specific gear set. Now, that means, for example, I chose the Sentry set. So the first thing I did was I bought the blueprint for the mask and the knee pads from my base of operations vendor. I crafted those, and that gave me those 2 pieces, which meant that I was just looking for these. And if you happen to have awesome friends like I do, what you're going to do is you're going to be like, hey, look, guys, I need a backpack for the Sentry set, and I need a holster for the Sentry set. And if you guys get one from a boss drop or from the incursion, please let me get that. And then you could be like, if I get a striker set or a tactician set or a nomad set, nomad's garbage, I will give it to you, and you guys can kind of help each other out that way. Now, once you do that, you're going to need to craft these 2 pieces over and over again. It took me about 5 or 6 times of crafting the mask to get the double mod slot with a stamina roll, and equally so to get a good roll with armor and a mod slot on the knee pads. So what you need to do is you need to jump into the Dark Zone, and you need to go hunting. Now, there are tons and tons of high-ends dropping left and right, and your stash is going to fill up extremely quickly. So here's what you need to make sure you're doing. You need to make sure that you are only picking up things. We're going to run to the crafting station real quick while we talk. You need to make sure you're only picking up things that will deconstruct into the materials that you need. So that's going to help you conserve space, and it's going to help you maximize your time, not have to worry about running in and out of the Dark Zone over and over again. So if we go down here real quick and we check out the mask, you can see it requires 22 fabric and 8 electronics. So you're going to want to be extracting only armor and mods, and there are a ton of mods dropping left and right, so that shouldn't be hard. So just make sure you delete anything else. I would again, I just put all of your focus and effort into building your gear set, and then worry about something else like your weapons and mods. So Those are the tips and tricks that I have for you guys. I hope they helped. Here you guys, a little preview. I have the blueprint for the first wave vector, and I am currently attempting to get a good roll for you guys so that we can do an updated comparison video between that and the tactical AUG. I hope this video helped, and I hope that you found it informative. If you did, feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily Division content, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Double D out.